Every real-life glitch explained in 11 minutes.
The accidental save reload. You walk into a cafe, the clatter of a tray, the low hum of conversation, the barista calling out an order, a name you already know before she says it. A black cat dashes past your legs, and then it hits you. You have seen...
I don't think I've ever had, like, an experience. I mean, I have had deja vu, but it's never been, like, there, like, not no, on some Final Destination shit where, like, I know everything that's about to happen. But, like, the other day, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I was telling him about how, like, I would experience shit that I felt like had already happened before. He'd be like, "What are you talking about?" It's like so weird. Like, I don't know how my brain, or anybody's brain for that matter, can like ponder such a thought. Like, it's like, is it really happening again, or is it just a figment? Is it something you're imagining that happened already?
You don't just recognize the moment, you remember what happens next. The man at the window will check his watch, the woman at the counter will drop her keys. In 10 seconds, the door will swing open, but you already know who's coming through.
Yeah, whenever I experience deja vu, I get like this wave that rushes to my head, and my heart, like, it's like so weird. I get like chills kind of whenever it happens. It's almost like a spidey sense.
Science says deja vu is a glitch, a brain misfire, a small processing error where your mind accidentally flags the present as a past memory. And if deja vu is just a brain error, why does it feel so eerily accurate? Some believe deja vu isn't a glitch at all. It's proof that time isn't linear, that you've lived this moment before, that maybe you are in a loop. Or worse, you've died in another timeline. And if that's true, how many times have you already been here? Mandela effect. Reality patches while you're AFK. Let's do a test. Does Pikachu have a black tip on his tail? Think carefully. You've seen Pikachu 1,000 times, on cards and games and movies. You know what he looks like.
I'm gonna say no.
So yes or no? If you said yes, congratulations. You've just experienced the Mandela effect. Pikachu has never had a black tip.
I think it's the same thing as like George the monkey having a tail. I knew from the get-go bro didn't have a tail. Like, any book he's ever been in, I don't think he's ever had a tail. This one definitely threw me. Like I was saying in the last video, the monocle on like the Monopoly guy, or like the Pringles guy, I swear they had a monocle. I think it's just like your brain just doesn't click because you're so used to seeing them that way, and that's just how you remember them the next time you talk about them.
Not in the games, not in the anime, not anywhere. And yet millions of people swear he did. Alright, let's try another one. Does the Monopoly man wear a monocle? Of course he does. You've seen him. The rich old man with a top hat, a suit, and that little monocle over his eye.
He's like,
Except he doesn't. He never has. The Mandela effect is the strange phenomenon where large groups of people all remember something one way, only to find out that it never existed like that. At least, not anymore. The name comes from Nelson Mandela. Huge numbers of people remember him dying in prison in the 1980s. They recall watching the funeral on TV, seeing the headlines, even discussing it in school. Except that never happened. He was released, went on to become president of South Africa, and died in 2013. So how do millions of people share the same false memory? The official explanation is that human memory is bad. It's faulty, unreliable. A few people misremember something, then they tell others, and before long, the false memory spreads like a virus.
Somebody probably just thought about it and posted online or something, word got around, and then somebody made like a picture of it because that's how they remember it, and then that got around, so people just eventually just started believing this false reality.
People remember things one way, but history says otherwise.
See, I didn't know this thing about, I mean, I knew it came from Nelson Mandela, but I didn't know Nelson Mandela supposedly died in prison. As far as I knew, he was still alive during that time.
Changed. What if these are updates to reality, small server-side patches that overwrite the past, but leave behind a few glitches? What if you just didn't get the update? Some believe this is proof that we're shifting between alternate timelines, that
I wouldn't say it's shifting between timelines. I really just think it's just like a part of your brain that's just not clicking that you forgot. I think it'd be as easy as somebody forgetting their keys and assuming that they were on the key rack or wherever they put their keys, and then forgetting that they left them in their pants from the night before whenever they got off work or something.
Slightly different version of reality, but our memories don't fully sync. Others think this is just bad maintenance. Reality gets patched, but the developers missed a few details. Either way, if you ever notice something changing that shouldn't be able to change, it's already too late. Missing time. The desync error. It's 3:02 p.m. You blink. Now it's 3:47 p.m. You didn't move. You didn't check your phone. You weren't distracted. But somehow 45 minutes have disappeared. The official term is highway hypnosis. When your brain zones out and drives on autopilot. It happens on long, repetitive roads. The idea is that your brain is awake, but your memory stops recording. Sounds reasonable. Except some people...
Yo, that would be kind of scary, though. If you're experiencing this, you could, this should be something that doctors should be testing for Alzheimer's, because that is something that people do. They'll be like, is it 7 a.m.? And it'll be like 7 in the afternoon. You'll be like, nah, it's time to go to bed. Be like, what? I was just eating breakfast.
Missing time when they're not driving. They'll be sitting at home watching TV, and suddenly it's night. A person cleaning their kitchen looks up at the clock and finds an hour missing. Some say it happens when they're mid-conversation. They'll be talking to a friend, and suddenly the other person is looking at them weird, like they just stopped talking for 5 minutes. Some people say that during missing time, they get the feeling that something else was happening, but they just aren't supposed to remember. It's like someone edited the footage, trimmed down the timeline, removed the parts that didn't make the cut. Things we were never meant to see. Bystander effect. When NPCs refuse to trigger the next event, you're walking down a busy street, a person collapses, they hit the ground completely unconscious. A crowd starts forming and
oh my gosh,
nobody moves. You wait for someone to help, maybe a doctor, maybe a good Samaritan, but instead everyone just stands there watching. That's the bystander effect. A bizarre...
I can't say is I've ever seen everybody not do that. I've definitely been in a situation where somebody's needed my help, and I'll wait to see if somebody who's with me remembers what to do and them do the first thing, because even though I'm prepared mentally, I'm still like, oh, this is real now. I gotta help them, you know?
People there are, the less likely anyone is to do something. Because everyone...
I think it's also just a nerve thing too, because there's a lot of people who are antisocial, so whenever they see something happen, their first reaction is to back away instead of come to you.
Else will take action. But because everyone assumes that, nobody does. And it gets weirder. There are cases where entire groups of people have just stood there watching something horrible happen even when it would have been extremely easy to help. A person choking in a restaurant, a woman being attacked in broad daylight, even a drowning child. Nobody wants to be the...
I think people just don't want to either suffer the consequences or deal with the conflict. They don't want to... They're not conflict people. I don't like conflict myself, but if I gotta help somebody in need, I'll do it.
Nobody wants to take responsibility. It's like they're all stuck in an idle animation waiting for a main character interaction. And what if, just for a second, we consider the possibility that this isn't just human psychology? What if some people really do function like NPCs? What if some only activate when they're directly prompted? And if that's true, then the next time you're in a crowd, look around. Is everyone really playing the same game as you? Doppelgangers. The NPC cloning bug. Imagine walking down the street and seeing yourself. Not a look-alike, not a twin. You. Same face, same outfit, same movements.
Oh, hell no.
At first, your brain's...
If I seen that, I'm running. I'm not having any conversation with you. I'm not gonna look at you again. I'm running, and I'm not looking back.
Logical explanation. A coincidence? A weird reflection? But then, it looks at you, and you realize it knows. Throughout history, people have reported seeing their own double, and it's almost never a good thing. One of the most famous cases was Abraham Lincoln. A few days before his assassination, he reportedly saw his own reflection in a mirror, except there were two of him. One looked normal, the other was ghostly pale. His wife, naturally, did the reasonable thing and decided this meant he was going to die. And then, well, we all know how that turned out.
Maybe he just had a feeling that something bad was about to go down, or maybe he wasn't having a good night, maybe he took some type of medication. There could be lots of different explanations for that. Or maybe somebody was standing behind him for a brief moment and that looked like him, and he could very well have freaked out and his wife just not seen it.
Lincoln was tired. Maybe his brain just filled in an extra image. Or maybe it's just a glitch in the system. Maybe
I don't think I've ever seen a doppelganger, but I have seen people who look exactly like other people. Like in school, oh my gosh, I was like the king at like giving people lookalikes. In middle school, if I thought you looked like a celebrity that I've seen on TV or anything that I've ever watched, I will take a picture of you, put it on like a Google Doc or some shit, and then I'll look up the celebrity to the best of my ability, find an angle where they look just like you, have the same facial features, and then I'll show them the next day, and they'll be like, I don't see it. I don't see it. And then there'll be some people who'll be like, I do see that. And then I'm just like, that's weird. Or like this one time, like my brain was playing a trick on me whenever I was little. I was at Walmart. I can't remember what I did. I think I went to the bathroom. And I swear whenever I came out, I saw this lady who I thought was my mom. And I was like, Mom, wait for me, blah, 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 blah. And I like ran up to her and I was like, Mom. And she turned around and the horror on my face whenever I was like, Mom! I was like, you're not my mom. Who are you? I was just like running around the store. I was panicking.
only rendered 2 copies of you for a moment. Maybe you just got a glimpse of yourself from another timeline. Or maybe something else is trying to take your place. Either way.
Similar to like what he's saying, you ever like look at yourself in a mirror and be like, which one of me is real? After seeing the movie Us, I was like, that would be kind of weird if there is just like another version of me somewhere. Like somewhere out in the world, just chilling, maybe living a better or a worse life than me. And then someday, like we cross paths, you bump into him or something, you're just like, oh, sorry. And you turn around, you're like,
See someone who looks exactly like you, walk the other way.
yeah,
Fast.
I don't know about walk, I'm running.
Sleep paralysis. The fourth.
Yo, this real as if you have sleep paralysis, I'm praying for you. I feel so sorry for you. I will not crack any jokes about that anymore. I used to crack so many jokes at my friend for sleep paralysis because he would describe it to me and I would just laugh my ass off at him. I'd be like, you're crazy, that it's not real, and I'm gonna give you the visual. I'm gonna set the scene for you, all right? All right, this is me. I'm laying down in my bed, asleep, and then just like this, I'm asleep, but I'm dreaming that I'm awake already, like, and I'm just like laying in the bed, cannot move, and I'm just like looking around, and I swear to you, like, I don't know, there was like some type of presence or something there, because I was looking around, I couldn't find my dog. I couldn't see nobody in my line of sight, and it was dark, but my TV was on, because whenever I woke up, my TV was on, and I'm trying to talk, and the words come out, and I'm like, I'm trying to go help, but instead the words are like, and I can't like, I don't know, my brain is like tricking me to think that I can't breathe, but instead my mouth just isn't opening, so I'm panicking. And I can't move my arms. I'm struggling to open my mouth. And then it's like you have to like tear your way through something to like force your mouth open. And whenever I got the words help out, I woke up and it literally was exactly how I was laying too. I was laying down just like this. My TV was on. It was dark in my room. And the only difference is my dog was on my bed. And I was like, no. And I told my brother about it, and he was like, yo, that's weird. And then I told my friend about it who had sleep paralysis, and he was like, ha, gotcha. That's what you get for making fun of me. And that ain't fun, is it? And I was like, no, I don't ever want to experience it again. I've experienced it like 2 other times. That shit is the wackest shit ever, dude. I feel so bad for people who like have that on a regular. That's like genuinely terrifying.
You can't skip. It happens in the middle of the night. Your eyes snap open. You can see your room, your ceiling, the faint glow of the streetlight outside. Everything is normal, except you can't move. Not a single muscle. Your arms, your legs, completely locked. You try to call for help, but your voice won't come out. And then you feel it. A presence. Standing at the edge of your bed. This is sleep paralysis. And if you haven't experienced it yet...
Yeah. I've flown out of my bed twice screaming. Or not like that, but I've been like... and like, I'm just like... What the hell just happened?
Congratulations. You've avoided one of the worst free trial
You're like hesitant to go back to sleep because then you're like, what if I experience that again? Like, what just happened? Like, imagine, bro, like, imagine, like, pre-technology, like, everything we have now. Imagine this is, like, the 1700s, bro. And you're just laying in bed and you're experiencing this shit. You go and tell anybody about this, they're going to be like, there's a demon in your ass. Set up a blaze. And then, or they're going to, like, throw you in jail or something. I'd be like, oh, hell no. They're going to think I'm crazy.
This is that the human body has to offer. People describe it as being trapped inside your own body.
Yeah.
Science calls it a simple sleep cycle disruption. The body is in a state of muscle atonia to prevent acting out dreams. And if you break this sleep, your brain wakes up, but your muscles are still paralyzed.
So it's like dreaming, but you, like, wake. What?
Supposed to last a few seconds.
That gets my ass cheeks, bro. That lasted like a minute, 2-3 minutes. Like, I've heard stories of people experiencing that, and that happened, like, it happens for like an hour. Like, that's crazy that just happens to you.
At most. But to the people experiencing it, it can feel like a lifetime. And here's where it gets weird. Because for some reason, sleep paralysis doesn't just come with paralysis. It comes with company. People across different cultures, across history.
I can't say as I've seen anybody, but, like, for me, anytime I've had it, it feels like I'll wake up and nobody is around me, like nothing. It's just me in my bed, and I'm just like, what is this?
Completely separate parts of the world all describe seeing the exact same thing, a dark silhouette, watching them. If this is just a random brain glitch, why are millions of people hallucinating the exact same thing? There are two possible answers. 1. The human brain is hardwired to hallucinate terrifying figures when it's in this state, a cruel little evolutionary prank designed to make an already terrible experience even worse. Or 2. These things are always there, and sleep paralysis is just the one time you are actually able to see them. Spontaneous human combustion, the self-destruct glitch. Imagine you're sitting in your living room reading a book, sipping some tea, nothing out of the ordinary. Then without warning, you burst into flame.
Nah, I'm staying away from your ass, Carrie.
Not like you knocked over a candle flames. Not like your clothes caught fire flames. No, you ignite from the inside out.
Fire?
And by the time someone finds you, there's nothing left but a pile of ash. And maybe a pair of legs that somehow survived. This is spontaneous human combustion, one of the strangest, most unsettling phenomena ever recorded. Science has a lot of answers, but on this one, they're beat. Some half-assed explanations include the wick effect, where body fat acts like candle wax, slowly burning the person over time. But if that's the case, why does it sometimes stop halfway? Take Margaret Hogan, for example, an unusually hot 89-year-old widow from Dublin. On March the 28th, 1970, she was found burned almost to nothing in her home. The plastic flowers on the table had melted into sludge, and the television screen 12 feet away was warped beyond recognition. And yet, her feet and both legs below the knees were untouched. An inquest was held. The official cause of death? Burning. The cause of the fire? Unknown. Which means either 1. The human body has a hidden self-destruct button. 2. Some people accidentally trigger an irreversible system error. 3. Reality occasionally just Alta 4 people in the most dramatic way possible. Whichever one it is, the conclusion is the same. If one day you start feeling a little too warm, and you're nowhere...
Is that a real thing? Do people actually just, like, catch on fire? Does it have something to do with, like, something going on in your body? Like, what? That's so weird. Whoa.
Flame? You might have about 3 seconds to figure out why. Quantum immortality. The real-life respawn glitch. You should be dead. That car missed you by inches. Lucky? Maybe. Or maybe you just don't die. Quantum immortality is the idea that every time you...
I think you die. You definitely die eventually.
Consciousness jumps. Not to heaven, not to hell, but to the nearest reality where you survived. From your perspective, you never die.
Oh, yo, okay, I get what he's saying. That's so weird to think about. Okay, so, like, to you, from, like, a 30-second point of view, you're, like, about to get into an accident. You swerve at the right time, and then snap. You didn't get into that crash. But after that snap, you really did die. That's so weird to think about. I had something like that happen. I mean, not this, of course, but, like, that would be like weird to think about because like I had an incident where I fell asleep at the wheel and I almost hit a truck and I almost hit a ditch and I woke up just in time to like swerve out the way, and then like that would be just crazy if like someday I found out that I'm just actually dead from wherever I am from, you know.
Waking
not
up
really
in
me.
timelines where you barely made it. Take Frayne Selak, a man who should have died multiple times. In 1954, his train derailed into an icy river. 17 people drowned. He didn't. The next year, he was sucked out of a plane mid-flight and landed in a haystack. Then a bus crash, multiple car crashes, a car explosion, and finally he won the lottery.
I feel like that's
From his
pretty
perspective,
suspicious.
He never died, and that's the terrifying part. If quantum immortality is real, then you will never experience your own death. The versions of you that died, you don't remember them, because they're gone. But what happens when there's no timeline left where you survive? Is there a final game over? Or does
Then
reality
eventually
just
reach
keep
your
you
limit.
going? And if that's the case, how long have you actually been alive? Thanks for watching. Make sure to give the video a like.
It was a very interesting video. I'm surprised he didn't bring up lucid dreaming. That's a pretty weird one to talk about.